Alright, guys. My name is, El Payaso. That's how they call me in Mexico. Yeah, that's me. The clown. That's my nickname, Elias. Or Elias, I mean. I wouldn't say Elias. Elias. That's how I say it. Alias. Back in high school, I was bullied by a lot of people. I saw them as bigger than me. Even though I was a foot taller than them, they would be seen bigger than me. I was ashamed, really, in high school of my last name. My last name was Salazar. I was really ashamed. Everybody hated me. When I say everybody, I mean everybody, even my own family. Even though I don't know why, but because of my last name, even though that was their last name, they would pick on me on anything. They would laugh at me that I was part of a family that was really, really mean, brutal. Because my family was brutal. Even though they say they're not, they're brutal. Not mafia level brutal, but they're still brutal. To the point that they'll manipulate other people to go against you. And back in my time, also I was really poor. I'm poor now, but I would get called names because I'm poor. Because I was poor. Even the girls, they were really mean to me. I mean, I was just trying to be really nice to them and make them flour, make them food and stuff like that. But I just be called moron, I'd be called ugly, I'd be called stupid, I'd be called a loser because I was doing that. And not in a playful manner either. I was they would actually be serious and they would tell me off. But the biggest bully in my life weren't really the most muscular guys. The captain of the wrestling team. I didn't know the captain of the wrestling team because he was always out of the state because challenging others. He was like a nationwide champion. I mean, I don't remember his name, but yeah, I remember him going nationwide. But it wasn't him. It wasn't the guys in wrestling team that were my bullies. It wasn't the guy. It wasn't the gang members waiting outside the school or inside. They'd sometimes be in the locker room hitting me. They'd be partnered up with someone smaller than them. They like fighting, handicap in a handicap match. They often have a little weapon, like a stick. It wouldn't have to be metal, wood. It could be anything. And they always have that graphic shirt on it. I remember one guy who bullied me. He had something that said "Got milk," and I remember that dude. That guy was big. He was 5'10". I was 6'2" at that time. He ended up beating me up twice. After that, I never saw him again. I think I got expelled though. I messed up there. Even the guys in the football team weren't really my bullies. A lot of them wanted me to join because of my size. Even though I was considered puny and weak, but most of them thought they could make me strong by joining the football team, but I didn't join. But I got bullied. I got bullied by some of them, but they were my biggest bullies. The key word here is biggest. Not biggest, biggest. The guys in the gym, back then I'd weigh 280 pounds almost. I'd go to the gym. I was fat. I had a beer belly. It weren't those guys. The guys in the gym did not bully me. Some did, but they were my biggest bullies. There were 2 guys there. In this high school gym. Again, they were dressed in all sorts of ways. The most typical ways: high socks, with shorts sag down. Those guys are my bullies, but I had a lot of them. I had 12 my whole time. One of them is actually my friend now, but still, they were my biggest bullies. They were not. be honest, the biggest bully in my life. I'm really sad that turns out like this, but I still think about it, like, why he's the biggest bully in my life, even though he's the guy who created me. I'm not a robot or android or anything like that, but he, biologically created me. The biggest bully in my life is my dad. I mean, really sad to me. I call him daddy sometimes, papi. Sometimes he would push me because I was weak. I couldn't lift more than 20 pounds. He'd push me around, attack me. I didn't really like that. He called me weak. He started saying that nobody will like me. I'm not a man. I'm a woman. A lot of stuff. All those stuff. I was like 14 when he would do that. He still does that a little. Sometimes I'd be in my room writing. I love writing. Oh my god, I love writing. Writing stories. I've wrote over like 20 short stories. I've written 2 novels. I'm working on 1 still. He didn't like this. He'd consider that trash. Garbage. Not for me. I was 280 pounds. I ate a lot of pizza and chips and chocolate, and I didn't work out. And I still wanted to be a police captain in the LAPD, but he would, insult me, call me a lot of stuff like you're fat, chubby, ugly. You're not gonna be a captain ever. Might as well just go and pick lemons in the fields. That's really lowers my self-esteem. Even in college, here in college, I'd be writing whatever, but he would call me and just say stuff like, drop out of college and work for me, because you're not going to find a job afterwards. You're never going to be what you want to be, which is a police officer or police captain for LAPD. Sometimes when I go back home, sometimes I just want to go and eat, because in college you don't have a lot of stuff to eat. I just want to go eat a bowl of cereal, and he'd come to the kitchen and demand to fight. I don't want to fight. Sometimes I would tell him there's no reason to fight, but he says that a police captain will always be ready to fight whenever someone demands to fight. I don't understand that, but that's his opinion, not a fact. Sometimes I'd go up to girls, or guys too, and I'd give them nice things, and he wouldn't like that. He wanted me to be aggressive like him. Be mean. That's how you gain power. That's what he said, but I like to gain power over being nice to everybody. Sometimes I do those smallest errors, like, hit the water bottle with my hand. Not purposely, but like, by accident. Sometimes I spill like the quart of milk after trying to serve myself a bowl of cereal, and I accidentally hit it with my elbow or my scarf or something. I would hit it down, and he would say stuff like, nobody's gonna like you because of that. Nobody ever like you. And I would sometimes believe that because I'm gullible like that. In my house, there's no peace. That's rule number 1. No peace. Somebody's got to fight against somebody. Otherwise, something happens. There's no happiness. Nobody's got to smile. Nobody's got to laugh. There's no way. That's rule number 2. Rule number 3, nobody's allowed to be superior than him. But me being here in college, here today, that is a threat to him. That's why he wants me to drop out. Not because I want to, so I can work for him, but because he's afraid that I might one day, in his words, overthrow him. Even though he's no king or anything like that, but he still thinks he's a king. I'm not allowed to be happy again. No smiling, no laughing. He will get mad, he will yell at me, he will hurt me, physically or verbally. Oh, and all my writing stories, he would rip them in half, throw them away, discourage me from being a writer, creative writer, even though I am good. I gotta admit, I am good. I get sick a lot. Stomach aches, headaches, heartaches. I don't know if there's heartaches, but my heart hurts sometimes. And I'm not allowed to be sick. I get punished to be sick. I don't get that. That's like being punished to eat. It's something human. Sometimes he'd make me go walk to the clinic. I mean, I remember one time he made me walk to the clinic when I had a stomachache and I threw up in the street, and I made it to the clinic, but still, he made me walk, and that was really harsh. But luckily, I have a mom, another parent that will always take, except that one time, take me to the clinic when I'm sick. There was this one time, though. As a matter of fact, it was this past summer, where I read some stories about a lot of revolutionaries, a lot of heroes, and fake fictional, Simón Bolívar, Benito Juárez, all those heroes in the world that stood up against a tyrant. That's how I saw my dad, tyrant. If he sees himself like a king, then I'm just gonna say that I see him like a tyrant, like a little dictator, kind of like a little Franco or Mussolini. Not a Hitler, not really, but he's more like a Mussolini to me. And I defend like the innocent against him, and even myself. I defend myself. I would go against him, disobey what he told me to do. Be mean, I'll disobey that. Not eat, I'll disobey that. I need to eat. It's part of being human. You gotta eat. Yeah. Also, he wouldn't say, when he would attack me, he wouldn't say, stop defending yourself. He actually, I wouldn't say cowardly, but he'd be scared and say, why am I attacking him? Or he'd ask, in his words, quote, why is my son attacking me? I'm not attacking him. If he attacks me and I attack back, but he initiated the attack, then I attack secondly, that's defense. And then I attack. That's defending yourself. We don't talk that much. We walk past by each other, we don't talk that much. Sometimes I'll see him, I won't talk to him. I'll say hi, but I won't talk to him. I'm here in college, having fun, doing what I want to do. I'm studying abroad. Well, I'm going to study abroad, and a lot of stuff. And he just be in his house watching TV. Hopefully that I'll call him, but I won't, because I really don't want to fight. Anything I do will initiate a fight. That's why I don't want to do anything with him. Not talk, prevent any communication in order to avoid a conflict. Because if I call him, he will bully me or attack me or harass me. One day, though, I did write him a letter. I wrote him a letter. I thought of communicating just this one time, communicating. Because I feel bad because I haven't been calling him, but still. I wrote him a letter, personally gave it to him, and I said in the letter that I love you, Dad, but if you ever bully me again, I will have to defend myself. The end. Fin.